one other announcement was at the end when she is finished, for grant purposes, we do need to do a quick hands raised survey. So please, when she's finished, stay put, stay in place. We'll do a quick 2-question survey, and then you can move about and do what you need to do. So please stay in place for that. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right, this table's primed, so I'm excited. I have a variety of things for you all to take after, including some magnets and flyers, and we do, for those of you who use Braille, we have them in Braille as well. And I was just talking to Kim, we should probably get these flyers in large print also. I looked at Alana because she's the one who actually makes stuff happen. So yes.
You need us to pass through that?
If you want to go ahead and pass them out, that would be lovely. Thank you. Okay. So recycling is one of those topics that people care passionately about, and so I'm going to explain recycling in Lexington, kind of what it is and why it is the way that it is. So Lexington is one of the few community-owned recycle centers in the country. So LFUCG actually owns and operates our recycling center. One of the things I like to talk about is sometimes the word recycling I categorize it as misused. When we are telling you things are recycled in Lexington, we are collecting it, we are sorting it, and we are selling it to someone that's going to break it down and turn it into something new. There are places that will accept recycling, but they're actually incinerating the material. Or it was very popular for a while to accept materials for recycling, and then they would ship it abroad to some countries and have people in developing countries sort through materials of trash and pull out the very limited amount of materials that they could salvage. We do not do any of that. If we tell you that we are recycling the item, we are collecting it, sorting it, selling it, it's getting turned into something new. It's not being shipped far away. All of our partners for this are regional. They're in Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Georgia. They are not being, stuff is not being shipped abroad. Okay, so I'll talk, but I'm going to take questions as well, because I know you're going to have questions at the end. So I'm going to anticipate one of them. Why only the items that you accept? Why only these things? Everything has a recycle symbol on it. Why don't you take all of those things? Thank you so very much. There are some requirements for actually being able to recycle something. So one, we need enough quantity coming into our center that it makes it worth investing in. Part two, the equipment that is required to sort it. If you were to go to the Lexington Recycle Center, it is a huge warehouse full of equipment, and there are also people that work the line. So it's equipment, machinery, and people sorting process. So we have to have enough stuff to make it worthwhile. We have to be able to sort it. We have to have the proper machinery, and we have to have somebody that's actually going to buy it and turn it into something new. And that third piece is a lot of times the tricky piece, because particularly the most confusing part about recycling is plastic recycling. The announcement about the food containers is a perfect example of that. We don't take those things right now. We only have equipment to sort bottles and jugs. We don't have equipment that will sort this type of material right now. And so, yeah, so quantity, sorting, and somebody who's going to buy it.
What kind of jugs? Plastic or plastic? Glass or plastic?
I'm sorry?
You said jugs.
Bottles and jugs, glass, yeah, glass also,
Okay.
yep, and plastic.
Okay.
Yes,
What about paper plates, like you use at dinner or something like that, but they aren't real dirty? Do you recycle them or not? Because I've heard both ways.
yep, you have heard both ways. I have heard both ways. So, paper plates that, that are not, like you just had chips on or something, this doesn't have all these sauces and goo on it, yes, you can recycle those.
But like
We
something like
do
dinner or
not
something
want
like that?
food.
No.
Yep, yep, we do not want food. So, the reason that recycling is so confusing is there's a couple causes for that. One, there's no rules about what you can stick a recycle symbol on. Like, if in theory you could recycle it, they can stick a recycle symbol on it. But a lot of that stuff is made in ways that make it very difficult to actually recycle, because you've got a whole bunch of different kinds of material that are smooshed together in various mechanical and chemical ways, and you would actually have to be able to separate them in order to recycle it, and that gets really, really difficult and really expensive. And so there aren't markets, there aren't people we could sell that material to even if we did accept it and sort it. That is where you get into a lot of like, that's the kind of stuff that ends up being incinerated, which I don't consider recycling. The other thing that's confusing about it is when we were growing up, we heard about recycling. Recycling was kind of new back in the day, and recycling was good. Like, if it had a recycling symbol, you recycled it, and that was how it worked. But the products that were out there were simpler back then. Like, they weren't, there's a lot more packaging, a lot more types of packaging in 2026 than in 1976, right? There's a lot more types of material. And those materials sometimes are more complicated. And so again, that's harder to break down and turn into a material that we can reuse. So I am, these materials that I passed out, the flyers and the magnets, and I promised to get you by your June meeting maybe. We can do the large format recycle flyers. If you want to keep recycling simple, if you want to keep it easy, if you see it pictured on here, give it to us. If you don't, throw it away. If you're not sure, we would actually prefer you throw it away than put it in the recycle bin. And here's why. When we get stuff at the recycle center that we don't want, it can clog that machinery. It can break that machinery. It increases the wear on that machinery. And so we really prefer, there is a lot of effort to reduce the amount of contamination and the amount of unwanted material that ends up at the recycle center. Some items are more problematic than others. Do you want to guess one of our least favorite items that we get?
Wet cardboard.
Wet cardboard. We really don't like wet cardboard. Wet cardboard like falls apart and then it gets wedged in stuff and it gets sticky. It's like creates its own little paper mache at the plant. Wet cardboard is a good one. So try to keep your lid closed, especially this past week. We would like the material dry. What else?
Plastic trash bag.
There we go. Ding, 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 ding. That's probably the most common and most hated item that we get all the time. Because these are recyclable, right? You can take them to Kroger or Walmart or wherever, and they will take them and they can recycle them. The piece, so there's plenty of these in the world that's not the problem. It's not the amount of material. It is the sorting. The machinery has all these wheels that go like this. If you've got a plastic bag, what happens? It wraps around all of those moving parts.
Yeah.
So plastic bags, those air pockets that sometimes you get if you order something from Amazon or whatever that pop, We don't want any plastic bags. Don't put your recycling in the cart or in the container for recycling in a bag. Empty that stuff out. Don't leave it in a bag. So we don't want these. We have to stop the equipment, shut the whole line down. Somebody from the plant has to climb in, cut all this stuff out to unstick the equipment. Do not like this. This does not help us run our plant efficiently. So no plastic bags, pretty please. So this is a sorting problem. But if you want to take it to Kroger or Wild Birds even take stuff like this.
Myers, I think.
Myers will take it. A lot of the bigger stores will have a collection bin. Now I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't work for them, so I cannot vouch. I'm not vouching for any of them. But I know there are. I'll vouch for Wild Birds. They're a partner. I've partnered with us on collections of these before. But everybody else, I don't know what they do with it, but they've got the container, and so you can take these there. Yes.
I know Kroger's, one of their employees said they did go to a recycling place where they recycle those bags and turn them into new bags and stuff.
Perfect. So Charlie's vouching for Kroger.
And one other question I have, I don't, you know those fluorescent light bulbs that KU mailed to everybody to use?
Yep.
That's for fluorescent light bulbs with mercury in them.
Yep.
Where do you take those to properly dispose of them?
You can take those. We have an electronic recycling center, and you can take those fluorescent bulbs to the electronic recycling center. It's off of Versailles Road. If you're a longtime Lexington resident, the old Furrows building. It's
Okay.
behind the old Furrows building.
I just wondered where, because no one has ever said what to do with those type of mercury light bulbs and stuff.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to throw them away in the regular garbage.
right, because that would release all that mercury. Good question, and I will add the e-waste center is a separate facility, completely not part of the main recycle center at all. We don't want any of your electronic waste. We do a special collection around the holidays because one of our other issues is holiday lights, string lights, for the same reason we hate the bags, right? You've got this big long string of something and it's wrapping around all the equipment. We don't have a way to sort that there. So anything with a cord or battery, do not put it in with your mixed regular recycling, but it can go to the e-waste facility. So that is a really great resource, and I'm glad you asked that question. Oh wait, hold on, Des. Did you have something
I
else?
was just gonna say,
I'm not sure, but I think Lowe's takes certain light bulbs.
Yeah, some of the Lowe's have like a little drop-off container right inside their doors for a couple of things. Yeah, so.
you were talking about the e-way, is that like if you have televisions or stuff like that, I know, is that a place you can drop them off, or a recycle place or whatever?
Yep, that's a place if you've got TVs or batteries, that they will take batteries now. They will take vapes. Those have that's a big issue, and those start fires at the recycle center.
So where's that at, you can take it to if you need to?
Where is that at? Is that what you asked?
Here in Lexington, right?
Yeah, it's here in Lexington. It's on Versailles Road. I don't know the address off the top of my head.
It used to be the old
Furrows,
Furrow.
Yeah, the old Furrows building. There's a bus stop right in front.
close to Red Mile.
Yeah,
And
it's
what's the building called? What is it called?
Now, I don't know what it's
Is
called.
it recycling center?
no, the recycle center is, so the recycling center, the big place where your blue bin material goes is on Thompson Road. It's directly across from the Burl, if you're familiar with that. It's down in the distillery district. That's where the recycle center is for all the things that you would put in your blue cart. The electronic recycling center is Versailles Road, just past the intersection, if you're inbound, just past the intersection with Red Mile. And if you're coming inbound, it would be on the right side. In the front part is where Global Lex and the credit union are. There's a bus stop in front of it. if you use the city website, if you go to the city website, lexingtonky.gov/e-waste, that will tell you that will give you the address and that will give you the hours.
Okay.
They're open 6 days a week. So that if you need to get there on
Inbound is
Saturday.
just after Nancy Hanks Road.
Look at that. Love it.
Or call 311.
Or call 311 are our best. I love 311.
Dial 859-311. I think you have to do that then.
Is that why it never works for me? I just dial the full number now. It doesn't work for
Well,
me.
every time I dial 311, they told me to dial the other 3 digits first.
Do you have like for like somebody to see like what you do like?
Yeah, so if any of you are social media people, please follow Live Green Lex. We have Facebook and Instagram, and we're working on YouTube. We do tours of the Recycle Center every once in a while, so people can come and see it in action, which really is kind of an aha moment. Once you see all the equipment and what's going through, it really helps you understand why it's important to recycle properly and not give us the stuff we don't want. So there are public tours that are held every once in a while. I don't know of any on the schedule right now. We just did 3 last week, unfortunately. But we will do more, and then I will also add, exciting news is sometime in the next 12 months. The time frame is very up in the air right now, but last year we spent about $4 million upgrading the equipment at the Recycle Center. We got a grant from the EPA, and we're going to do another round of updates. With this next round of updates, we will be able to accept more items, including things like the takeout containers that your lunch is in. We do not currently take them. The hope is that with this new equipment that we'll get either this fall or next spring or next summer, like I said, very up in the air, but that is coming soon. So we'll send over all new materials to give to you all once that list is updated. Did you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
I have Rumpke.
Yes.
Now, does their recycling go to your center?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the Lexington Recycle Center is run by LFUCG folks and contractors. The material that comes in is primarily from Fayette County, but we actually have affiliate communities and businesses, including Rumpke and Republic. So if they are collecting here in Lexington, their material is coming to our recycle center.
So we should use this guy for Rumpke.
Yep, yep. This guy, if you're in Lexington and you've got Rumpke, or even any of the surrounding counties, and Rumpke or Republic, this is your list.
So I do a lot of dry cleaning
Yep.
at my house, and we always get those metal
Yep.
wire hangers. Are they recyclable?
They're not recyclable. It's a similar thing. It'll tear up the equipment.
Okay.
For metal, we just want food containers, basically. So your soda cans and soup cans and that sort of thing. But there is a metal container that you can drop things in. If you want to go above and beyond, if you want to be a super recyclable, like super recycler, there is a metal drop-off container that you can take those things to.
Where's that?
Is it still at Thompson Road? Let me look here. Is it still at Thompson Road, the metal drop-off? Yes.
I think a lot of the dry cleaners will take the hangers back and recycle.
Yes, they will.
And reuse them, yes.
Yeah, check with your dry cleaner to see if they take them back. They can recycle them, I think.
Yeah.
I'll check. I gotta drop some stuff off today.
There
I'll
you
check.
go.
I just hate there's so many because I don't like wire hangers in the closet.
Same.
Put hangers on. I will ask.
Good idea.
I'm shredding 50 years worth of paper. I don't
Yeah.
have enough to go to a shred event because I'm going through paper after paper after paper. I know that I don't want to put loose shredded paper in my Rosie because it flies all over the front yard. I know I can't put it in a plastic bag. Other than putting it in a cardboard box, is there any way to get shredded paper without filling up landfill?
Yes, there's a couple of things you can do with shredded paper. So, shredded paper, even if you've pre-shredded it, so you mentioned the shred events, so you're aware that twice a year, Lexington will host free shredding events where you can bring paper and we'll shred it for you on site. If you don't want to bring us the material to shred, but you want to bring your shredded paper, we will accept your shredded paper at those events. So you
In
can,
a plastic bag?
in a plastic bag, yep. So if you want to bring it to us at those events, you can do that. The other thing is if you can find somebody who composts, that is really.
Oh, honey, I'm doing 36-gallon trash bag a week. I have been for 3 years. I'm tons of paper.
So a lot of our, so our office also runs the composting program, and one of the hardest things about home composting is a lot of the material that we have, you have greens and browns. A lot of the stuff that you have is the juicier, it's wetter material. That's, and you need to balance it with brown materials. Traditionally that would be leaves, but it's hard for people to get a lot of leaves in the summer. And so you can go through a lot of paper in a short period of time.
Is there someplace I could take it for the composting?
For the you know what, I don't know whether they will do this or not, but one potential partner would be Seavey, because they do have the drop-off sites throughout the community. So I would ask Seavey.
I just hate, it just breaks my heart to see it on.
Yeah, yes, yeah, so the paper shred events, and then see if you can find a composter partner.
But you don't want shredded paper in the regular, in the
We
recycle.
do not want shredded paper, because again, the equipment, this is a sorting problem.
Right.
Anything that's smaller, basically than a standard Post-it note size, that will fall through the equipment and end up with in our trash area. It has to be a certain size. I think you had another question.
Yeah, I forgot. Like, do you partner, like, sometimes I help out over at, what do you call it, CCAT, like, UK, like, they actually take recycling materials and, like, you know, like, the little things on, like, Lexus, like, the different brands of cars, they actually make those, the emblems, things like that, different things. Like, they take all of that stuff and they actually have somewhere where they melt it and do all those things. Like, do you all work together?
I don't know what you're talking about, but that sounds really cool.
Make the good
I
on.
love the information on that. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I guess that.
It's with UK.
Yeah, it's called CCAT. I think it's kind of like on citation or whatever. Like, they have this little thing they show, and they actually take classes of how to, especially like metal, like the cans and stuff like that, all the recycling things. They actually do it right there on site. And I was just wondering, do you all work together? And it was neat where they show all the different, like BMW, different things, like all those little signs that's on the car. They actually make those.
I will, we do work with UK and their waste management folks, so I will reach out to them and see if I can dig into that a little bit more, because that sounds very cool.
It is, like, it's hard to breathe, like, we probably need a mask, like, in the back, but it's actually doctors there that they actually test the different aluminums and stuff like that, and they show things that they make out of it, so that would be neat.
That's cool, I love that, thank you for that tip. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through our acceptable item list for a second and get into the weeds a little bit more. So, this is currently, we're hoping to expand this soon, but number 1s and 2s plastics, bottles and jugs. Okay, so if it's a bottle and jug in plastic, we will take it. So all these water bottles here, happy to have. When the hand sanitizer bottles go empty, we can take those. One thing that we get asked a lot about on plastic bottles and jugs is, do we want the caps?
Yeah.
The answer used to be no. The answer is now yes. You can leave the caps on. Again, please empty the bottle and jug first. Pretty please. And then screw the cap back on, because otherwise the cap is going to fall through our equipment. So we want it to actually have the cap on there. Yes, Theresa.
Lotions, because you can never get them completely cleaned out inside, and you still want them.
I think if you can give it a rinse and do a best Yeah, don't give us a half full one, but if you've done your best, yes.
Do you take like, like soda, like when you go to McDonald's or whatever restaurant, like it has, like usually it might be styrofoam with the little thing that goes on top.
The
do you take
lid.
those
The lids from
that
the,
and the straw?
no, no, we do not, and I don't think even in the expanded list that we're working toward, I don't think it will be the top, but it will be the cup. It's not currently the McDonald's cup, but we're moving toward yes for the cup.
Thank God.
Yeah.
My granddaughter brings 2 fountain cokes home a day from like Wendy's but they have to be the plastic, right?
Right, yes, and part of the thing with the lids and the straws is, again, they're really small, so they're gonna fall through the equipment anyway. So that's all we want for plastic. You are welcome, again, if you do social media and you follow Live Green, you are welcome to message anytime and send us a picture and be like, hey, but what about this thing? And we will answer. We also have a FAQ page, a frequently asked questions page, that deals with some of the weird stuff that we get questions about a lot. Yeah.
When I took that recycling tour, which if anybody ever has a chance to do it, it's pretty amazing. There's always people that are standing along the line, so all this stuff's going by. And there are actually people standing there picking out things that are not supposed to be recycled and tossing them into like these gigantic caverns of where those things are supposed to go. And the idea there is to reduce the contamination, right? Are we seeing any? I was amazed at that because I thought, the equipment does all this, but there's actual people standing there doing it. And are we making any? Because one thing he talked about was our level of contamination is higher than the average.
Yep.
Are we making any progress on that?
Yep. And there are several factors that have contributed to our high rates of contamination, but that has been kind of the top priority of the new director for waste management, is to reduce those contamination loads.
Yeah.
And we were sitting 35-36% of the material that came into the recycle center was stuff that shouldn't be there. That's where we sat about a year and a half ago. The current rate, I've heard that we're floating between 25 and 30%. So that's a significant decrease. And some of that has to do with collection processes.
Yeah.
And some of it has to do with community outreach so that people know what we want and what we don't want.
Like what you're doing right now.
Like what I'm doing right now.
Because doesn't that hurt the ability to sell the stuff when it's more contaminated or whatever?
Yes, I did not pay him at all to do any of these leaders.
Well, it was a great tour.
Yeah, it is a really great tour. So one of the factors and one of the other reasons that contamination is a big issue for us, and I'll talk about another thing I wanted to make sure I got to. For some reason, we get a lot of medical waste in our recycle containers. We get like IV tubing or needles or things like that. We do not, and again, a lot of that stuff comes in packaging that says it's recyclable. It's not, at least not with us. And the problem with that is we've got people standing on the line, and if they get poked, that is a health concern.
Yeah.
We immediately send them off to do all the preventative things that we can do from there to help protect them. But the other reason is that if any, and not only is it so big deal, it's a human health hazard, right? The other thing is it also really harms our recycling processes. If we see medical waste of any kind, tubing, needles, any of that, on the line, we have to stop the line immediately. So all recycling sorting stops. We have to clear the line completely, and everything on the line at that point goes to the landfill. Whether it was cans that we love because they're a great recycle them forever thing, or all of it has to go to the landfill. Because if we sell a bale of anything, like once we sort it and then squish like items together into a big bale at the end, if we send bales to our buyers that have medical waste in it, they can blackball us and say, we don't want your stuff anymore, it's dangerous for our staff. And what happens to recycling if we don't have somebody who's gonna buy our stuff? We can't recycle it anymore, we can't take it anymore. So it is a really big deal, to not have those high levels of contamination, because it can get us blackballed from our end markets, which means then we can't recycle it anymore. Yes?
I got a couple of questions real quick.
Okay.
One thing, what about empty pill bottles and stuff? Can they be recycled or?
Empty pill bottles, that's a great question, and that's one of the tricky ones. So if it's a prescription bottle, we do not take it. That is not part of the plastic that's acceptable, but if it's vitamins, we can take the vitamin containers. If it's over the counter stuff.
Okay, the other two questions, one question is, I know the federal government was passing, recycling laws, I heard at one time that eventually everything's going to have to be recyclable. Has that gone any farther than it's supposed to, or are they starting to enforce that law?
There's been a lot of, there are groups that are lobbying for that cycle, right? So that everything that we produce can end up back being reused. We are very, very, very far from that being a law on the books. There is no responsibility. There has been conversation about if you produce it, you're responsible for how are we going to dispose it. That disconnect that has led to all the landfills and us trying to figure out what to do with all those recyclables. That disconnect is still in place. There is no accountability for the producer to figure out how we're going to responsibly dispose of it.
Oh yeah, well, two other questions, real quick. One, I heard a long time ago, and I don't know if San Francisco's still doing it, but they passed a law that everything had to be recyclable. I don't know if they're doing it or not, but that's what I heard about 10, maybe 15 years ago. And the other one is that one of my relatives is a truck driver, and he always hauls the recyclable cans back to the can maker to make new cans.
Yeah.
And stuff all the time.
So cans, aluminum cans are our favorite recyclable. Can I steal yours for a second?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. So if you recycle this today, it could be back on the shelf in 12 weeks as a new can. The smelting plant that processes is actually in Kentucky. This is infinitely recyclable. So some of the recyclable materials will degrade in quality. Paper has fibers, and the fibers get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And so the paper products can go down in quality, which is why we don't recycle things like napkins and paper towels, because that's basically just goo by the time you would break it down for recycling. This you can recycle forever and ever and ever. We love, if you are a beverage drinker, I strongly encourage people to use cans over plastic or cans over glass even, because from a recycling standpoint, this is a much more efficient item and material.
Now that can right there you got can be recycled, could save a new can you would have to use about 6 of those cans to make a new one.
Oh yeah, from an energy and resource and all the efficiencies, yes, it is much more efficient to recycle than to go through the whole process of mining and
Box,
Yep.
I got a question, like these water bottles, do you have to take this stuff off of it?
No, that's a great question. So you do not have to take the wrappers off of a bottle like that. It can go with that on it. Yeah.
What about the cans, like, corn, green beans, do you want the paper off of those?
It doesn't need to come off. Yeah.
But just rinse them out.
Yep. Rinse them out.
Are we gonna collect these today before throwing them away?
We are.
Leave them on the table.
Well, yeah, or just on your
We
way
do
out.
have recycling, but not everybody can see that it says recycle. And is that,
Right.
one reason I noticed this past April at Keeneland, they have aluminum water bottles.
Yes.
instead of the plastic, they're using the aluminum.
Yep.
Yeah, I think at Krogerfield maybe also.
Yep.
So it's easier to.
It's a better recyclable. Yep. And then also a lot of people are concerned about all the chemicals that leach out of the plastic, so it's kind of a double win for that. Yeah. Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get products that are in a cardboard thing like this, but then it's got a little piece of plastic in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually cut the plastic out and I put it in recycle. Is that okay? Or?
Oh, like a pasta box that's got the little plastic thing in the front so you can see the pasta? Is
Well,
that
it's a different product, but it's
similar concept? It's okay. It's okay to leave the plastic on there.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I heard at a meeting a few weeks ago, and I don't know the date, when are they going to paint the top of the recycle cans yellow?
Oh, it's not the recycled carts that are gonna be yellow. It's going to be the yard waste carts that are
Yard waste,
gonna
okay.
have a yellow lid, and we aren't gonna paint them, we're actually getting new lids. Because if it's dusk and you're outside and you've got trash and recycling and one is gray and one is green, sometimes in the light it can be hard to tell the difference between the gray and the green in particular. So we're gonna put a yellow lid on top of yard waste so that it is more visually distinct from the trash cart. And I believe we're gonna start ordering those in the new fiscal year, which starts in July. So there'll be a transition process, but we'll start doing that in July.
What's going to happen to the old yard waste things?
Just the lid.
It's just the lid, so yeah,
Sleds.
it's just the lid. And I would imagine we'll initially start off by the carts get replaced anytime they're cracked or damaged or the wheels are damaged or anything like that. We'll probably start with replacing the ones that need replaced and are due for that anyway. Because those carts are not cheap, and so doing everybody's all at the same time would be a big, big, big hefty price tag, and I don't know that we've budgeted for that in this fun upcoming fiscal year that we have.
They make a great 4-foot ladder upside down.
People have also used them as composters, converted them into composters.
The city did that.
Yep, the city did that for a while. Alright, dry cardboard and paperboard, like you were talking about, even if it's got those windows on it, is fine. The same for if you get an envelope in the mail and it's got that window for the address. Don't worry about that window, just give us the paper. Any paper that you can, if you can tear it, we'll take it. So it can be glossy. This is pretty glossy, right? But we aren't gonna get, it would be really silly of us to hand out recycled flyers on non-recyclable paper. I promise this is
You're gonna
recyclable.
put newspaper companies out of business. They're not printing up paper anymore.
Yes, we get a lot less paper and a lot of it is cardboard these days. One of our big things is cardboard boxes. Please break them down. Please empty them. A lot of people will get kind of lazy with it and just take out whatever they want and put everything else in the.
How much of a breakdown is this?
How much of a breakdown
Yeah.
is this?
Reduce to 6 walls? No?
Oh, so just flatten it unless it's a particular, if it's a huge box,
Big.
we don't want bigger than 4x4.
Okay, okay.
Why is wrapping paper, Christmas wrapping paper not recycled?
Christmas wrapping paper is not recyclable because the fibers in that paper is so teeny tiny already that it's not worth, you can't really do anything with it once you recycle it. So the fibers are just really teeny tiny.
So is brown paper, like, comes in the cardboard boxes, is it recyclable?
Yes, yes, that's recyclable. There's that kind that's kind of like
Craft paper.
the craft paper, and also you've got the kind that kind of expands and contracts. You know what I'm talking about?
That's kind of shred, like.
Yeah, but assembled. Yes, that's also recyclable.
Is that
this
an
is
Amazon,
recyclable.
The Amazon package?
The Amazon package, yes, that's
the
brown.
envelope.
Yep, the envelope is recyclable. Yes. Stuff freezer boxes or fridge boxes. These didn't used to be, and now
they were
are.
paraffin.
Okay, so they are.
They are. Yeah,
So is that
I can-
TV dinner? Is that
Yeah.
TV dinner?
Yep,
Top
TV
five?
dinner boxes are fine. TV dinner boxes are fine, yes.
They use not be, anything that was refrigerated.
What about pizza box if it doesn't have like grease or?
Yep, a
cheese
pizza
or
box,
whatever?
that's not gross is totally fine. If it's gross, it's usually only gross on the bottom and you can tear off the top and we'll take the lid. Yeah, pizza boxes are, and Charlie, give me 1 second. The other thing that I wanna hit, and this is the newest item and part of what we did with our $4 million upgrade last year, cartons. So milk cartons, juice cartons, broth, if you get broth in the boxes that they sell it at the store, those cartons can all be recycled. The other thing is if you've got kids or kids at heart in your life who like juice boxes, the juice boxes, those are cartons. This is an example of where industry got together. So there are several companies that make these cartons, but they at least cooperated enough so that the process for recycling these would all be the same. And so there's a carton council that is, the membership is the big companies that make these, and they help pay for our machinery that will collect them and sort them. And so they did invest, nobody made them, but they did invest in making sure that that there is an outlet for that material. So those milk boxes at lunch in elementary schools, those are part of the carton collection. That's our newest item. So, sorry Charlie, I put you on hold. What was your question?
There's one other thing. I used to know a friend that used to run a mailing service, and when we always got packages and they had those fiberglass peanuts in there, I always saved them for him to give them to him at his postal business, and he would always take them because it would save him money in buying new stuff. And if you got in that styrofoam stuff and see a mailing place, maybe you could ask them if they want to take those things. Instead of throwing them away.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And actually, so Kim and I were talking about this earlier. We talk a lot, I just talked for like an hour about recycling, but it's actually reduce first, then reuse, and then recycle. So that's an even better use. You can't recycle those peanuts, but even better is being able to reuse them. And I've done that too, where I've taken, not a lot of stuff comes with peanuts anymore, but when I do get them, I've just got a garbage bag that I kind of add to, and then when it's full, I will take it to one of the mailing places around town, and they're usually happy to have it and take it and reuse it. So if you can reuse it, do that first before you send it to us. All right. I brought this whole thing, but I feel like we talked about everything that was in here. So, hoses, 'tis the season. We see a lot of hoses. I don't know why people think hoses are recyclable, but they are not. Again, they wrap around the equipment. Also, nobody's buying hoses from us. So don't send us your hoses. Don't let your neighbors send us your hoses. Yeah, we talked about medical waste. We talked about plastic bags. Plastic bags, if you see somebody that is putting a plastic bag in their recycle bin, that is all treated as trash. Because when you go to the recycle center, just imagine you're driving up in the trash truck, you've collected the recycling, there's a big covered floor, huge floor like the size of a football field with a big tent rooftop on it, and they dump all the material there, and then they've got equipment that like pushes it toward the machinery to be pushed up the conveyor belt. When that material is all dumped out, people immediately start picking through it on the floor, because one of the things they're looking for are bags. That's easy, obvious, it goes to the trash. They will pull it out from the floor, and if it's in a plastic bag, it could be perfect, beautiful recycling in that bag, but they don't know that, they don't have the time, and it wouldn't be safe to have them open up those bags. And so it just automatically goes to the trash. So if you work somewhere, or you at home have done this, like don't put your recyclables out in your cart or in those collection dumpsters that we have around town for recycling in bags, because that is immediately treated like trash for safety and efficiency reasons and because of how much we eat those bags.
I use the plastic bag to put my recycle in it so the can doesn't
Yep.
get gross. But my boys, when they take it out, they open it, they dump it out, then they put it in the trash can. That would be the easiest thing to.
We do a similar, I've got one of those trash drawers now that's got the two and when we dump the recycling, then we rotate that bag up to be our trash bag and then we start our fresh recycling bag.
Exactly, yeah.
I do.
So like, I usually have alarm bells or whatever, just to take from the house to there, and I just like drop it in there, but sometimes I do see somebody, like on my room rail up here, where they'll pick it up and they'll take it with them. You know, I don't know, like, let's say for instance, I have all these alarm bells and I put it there just to take it home and put it in there. Like, I have seen somebody on room rail, like, pick it up, but it'd be like kids, but like, so if I put it in there, y'all not gonna take it at all? Like,
We usually, so the way the trash carts work is if you've got, are you talking that you've got a cart that you're putting it in that?
yeah, the little blue container, like
Yep.
I do that, just so I can bring it out and just dump it, and sometimes, cause like with mine, I'm just doing the access, so they, instead of taking it, and they just see I already have it there, they'll just pick it up.
Oh, that's because they're being nice. They're hopefully, we actually just put, all of our drivers did a tour of, because it used to be, if you're a driver, you don't get out of the recycle plant and walk around when you dump your loads, so you don't know what's going on inside that building. So, we recently invited all of the drivers, to come and do a tour of the plant as part of like professional development, so they understand, you know, what we take and why we take what we take. So hopefully the person, a lot of times the driver that will do the disability service where they'll take your cart out for you, hopefully they did that tour and they know not to put the bag in there. They're probably just, hopefully, dumping the bottles in and doing something different with the bag. So, yeah, that's just them being nice.
Well, I guess too, they just wanna take it really all the way, you know, pull it out and dump it, and it was already in the bag, and then they
Yep.
just took it and did that way.
Yeah.
There used to be a place you could drop off recyclables behind Good News. Is there any place in Fayette County now you can do that?
There are. Kim and I were talking about that earlier too. So we call those convenience sites. So if you don't have, about 90% of households have a cart service from the city. If you don't, you might use one of those convenience boxes. Good Foods, when they decided to stop hosting, and it wasn't, I don't think it was Good Foods, I think it was the property manager there, that was a huge hit, because that was a very popular drop-off site.
For offices, that was a good place to dump.
There are 4 or 5 convenience drop-off sites throughout the community currently. If you go to the city website, lexingtonky.gov/recycle, somewhere on that page there's a link to drop-off sites, and there's a map and a list of addresses. Elaine and I were talking this morning, Waste Management and our team, we're looking to expand the number of convenience drop-off sites again. And so, hopefully there will be more of those coming soon, but there are 4 or 5 right now.
I just wanted to say, I know like the pill bottles, you can take this Walgreens right down here on Harrodsburg Road, they have a big container, you can throw them in there.
Okay.
With the lids, even if it has medication in it, you throw it in there and they recycle it or whatever. But I'm not sure, but I think the Lions Club is still collecting pill bottles, you just rinse them out and stuff like that, and they're collecting them.
Okay.
And also anybody that's a member of the Daughters of American Revolution, they're collecting those. You just take your labels and stuff off and clean those up.
Okay, do you know if they have places that they're collecting those?
I think the pill bottles we can probably drop off here, and as well as the glasses, and when we can get them over to the Lions Club.
Okay. Thank you.
So, and one other.
Every 3 months, one of the sororities in town will take those pill bottles if they're clean.
Okay.
And what they're doing with them is they're sending them over to Africa because people over there have nothing to put their medicine in besides in their hand or whatever, and they're donating them to the different missions there.
Okay.
And so the libraries collect them, not the library, but behind the library, every 3 months, there's one on June 13th on the parking lots of the libraries.
Okay. All the libraries, all the branches?
Yes. Fayette County.
Fabulous. Okay, I am happy to hang around as long as you all want to talk to me and answer questions, but I think I am way over time. You mentioned June 13th. I want to point out one other opportunity, again, for kids of all ages, kids at heart. We do an event called Truckapalooza, where we have all of the trucks in environmental quality and public works. So trash trucks, the sewer trucks, the vac truck, the street sweeper, the street striper.
High Ranger.
What was that?
High Ranger.
High Ranger? Do we have a High Ranger? We have a High Ranger. But you can come and you can climb in those. It's a free event for all ages. You can come and climb in and the kids can honk the horns and all that sort of stuff. So if you've got anybody in your life who would be interested in that free event, I've got little handbills for those to help you all know when that is. Yep, it's a free touch-a-truck essentially, with city vehicles.
Thank you so much for having us. Thanks so much for coming and joining us.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks so much. Yes. Okay, before you all leave the room, we do need to do 2 quick questions. If you would stay put, because we're going to have to count hands. If you learned something new information today, please raise your hand. And that could be recycling or learn new information just by sharing with others at the table, talking about anything. So if you learned something new today by joining us, raise your hand. And keep them up, and Kim will tell us when she's done counting.
I got it.
Okay, hands down. Thank you. Second question and last question. If you found the information covered today helpful to you or someone you know, raise your hand. Again, that could be information covered in your conversations at the table, the social time, or information presented in the presentation. Please raise your hand if you found it helpful to you or someone you know. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all being here and joining us today, and have a safe afternoon.
So egg cartons and pizza boxes will probably not.
Egg cartons and pizza boxes are both fine. They're quick of cardboard.
Cardboard egg carton.
Yep, but not the styrofoam. Not the styrofoam. Never the styrofoam. Maybe the plastic with our newer ones. So there's the styrofoam, plastic, and then cardboard. Yes, now plastic. Oh, I'm sorry. They all have a number, and I have numbers. So we'll just when I know what are you.
That's good.
That's right. That's
Just the cardboard.
yeah. So I was trying to figure out what they are. Yes, the Braille. Thank you so very much.
Absolutely. Yeah. If anybody wants more flyers or magnets, please take them. Oh, we've had parents do their birthday party with their kids and just bring the whole event. Just play their party. Yeah. Right.
So just do one and don't ever change it, right?
Julie's like, we're doing all of ours.
Right.
If somebody asked me specifically, I would tell them.
Nice.
weight change or towards the back?
I know it is.
Okay, so you're good, right?
When's your last
One
place?
even there.
Minis one. Well, you know, I took one to the side because I wasn't gonna hold it, and I was trying to take pictures, because we try to get pictures of the event, and it's gone.
Oh, right. There's always one.
Take me over to the,
You hate me, listen, yeah.
No.
We didn't do that.
Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely, it was great, thank you for having us.
It was a very spirited discussion. I wasn't really sure how many questions I would ask. They were really engaging.
Yeah.
so I thought I'd think about the pickup on the way home.
All right, Elena.
Oh, yeah, okay, great, I'm gonna leave these.
Yeah.
So this was part of, that was kind of the
Water? No, I never had water. What you could do is pick up all the water grass outside of and use water. Then you could throw the bottle, and then you could recycle the bottle.
Yeah, you did, the reason I
Yeah.
was to by your format is you know in photos.
Just let that dry. This is not large.
We're talking to Ament.
This is just
I just had to stand up.
large print is like.
Yeah, yeah, so I just thought we could do that for, because, Susan did warn us about it.
And this is this very nice.
There's somebody down in the office. Yes, there is. Is Sam here today?
Right.
Sam, but I don't know.